Do 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 do. I'm not rapping today. Do 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 do. This may sound a little gay. Do 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 do. But what can I say? This is the Dawson's Creek theme song. Theme song. Do 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 do. So I think amongst us two, it's pretty unanimous what our favorite uh, back in the day WWF theme entrance was, right?
Yeah.
You'd say it's Stone Cold.
Most definitely.
So, what do you think? Who do you think had the creepiest or most like eerie theme music?
Oh, that's. I mean, I think you're gonna have to argue that it's probably the Undertaker.
I thought about the Undertaker, and of course, like it is, but one that I remember always creeping me out was Gangrel.
I don't remember what that sounded like.
I don't remember it anymore either, but what I remember is just like when anybody came out that was particular, because you know he had like that weird thing where he's like drinking blood at the ring when he first came
Yeah,
in
he was a
and
little
shit.
weirdo.
Yeah, so that was the music that always creeped me out. And I had, back in the day, I had the WWF theme music and then Aggression. So like I had,
Yeah, I remember he had that little guitar with all the that was pretty dope. Wasn't it? It was a Stone Cold guitar, right? Or
no, it had all of them.
it was just a WWF, right?
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like WWE and WWF, like wasn't it because the World Wildlife Federation
Yeah,
decided now
man.
that's their initials?
Like, bro, really? It's been WWF for years now, and now you want to complain about this?
I
You
mean,
changed to WWE.
maybe it makes more sense that it's maybe it makes more sense with entertainment, but for me it was just always WWF was always like what it was
The
for me.
Federation.
It was the Federation.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I was thinking about that the other day because I was, I've been watching all these fucking clips, and lately I've been watching the Undertaker and Kane, like Brothers of Destruction clips.
Oh man.
And those motherfuckers, like, pretty much ran everything.
They did,
Wanted
dude. They're
to,
the biggest.
so-
They were like literally the big kids, like that decided to beat everybody's ass, and they could do it because they were just big.
Yeah, and they would just go around terrorizing everybody in the organization. There was one I was watching yesterday, and it's like Undertaker and Kane versus Stone Cold and The Rock. But then The Rock's old boys, forgot their fucking D'Lo Brown and whatever his name is, they came and started whipping his ass. I don't know. And then so Stone Cold was left to fight them by himself, and he was doing a good ass job. And then fucking Vince McMahon's security or whatever, Big Boss Man, came and hit him.
Punk motherfucker.
And they like fucked them all up. And then after Undertaker and Kane were done, they left, and Stone Cold got back up and stunned all of Vince McMahon's associates or whatever, and then threw him off his wheelchair and whooped his ass. I was like, he always left the ring with his music playing.
That motherfucker. Yeah, like somehow, some way, he always came out on top. Even if like he had just got up after getting his ass whooped, he'll just still drink beers and just then the last thing you hear is his music.
Yeah, he always found a way to make that happen. But yeah, so that was my question. If you don't really have, so Undertaker,
I think it has to be. It was like the most like. I don't know. It just was the one that was the most like ominous, and he would come out and he would do that weird shit with his eyes. And when he did that, that was probably one of the more scary things that happened.
Okay, so say he eventually,
or maybe Kane,
because so Undertaker came back as fucking a biker.
Yeah.
At one point, and then he started using his keep rolling.
Yeah.
So when that music started being his. Then it
obviously not so much. Yeah, At that point, he was like actually likable and shit. Like obviously, Undertaker's like dope, but like not very likable.
Well, his like Ministry of Darkness thing, it was like it was a good show for, like, you know what I mean?
No, it was. That's why I'm saying
really
like
cool.
the entertainment made more sense, I guess, in the name, but like at the same time, like I don't know, whatever. I still think maybe Kane or Undertaker, but that's just based on the fact that they were like the underworld type, and then Kane would come in and he'd throw his hands down, and all four corners of the ring would spit out fire,
and you had like, I can feel that from over here. To the announcer.
Oh, that big what was this, Jerry
King Lawler?
Yeah, Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, Kane for sure, and I think I'm still gonna have to go with Gangrel for now until I go back and listen and just decide.
Yeah, I mean, if we went through it again and like really took a listen and seen which, I'm sure we'd find somebody that we forget that's probably got some pretty like, troubling music when you hear it.
Yeah. Well, okay, so in that same vein, then, what is your favorite like coming out routine? outside of Stone Cold, we have to leave. Obviously, he's in a class of his own. So, you had like Val Venus come in and do his fucking thing. You had Road Dogg, Jesse James, badass Billy Gunn.
Yeah, they were pretty funny too. I think the Generation X was pretty funny. I think that was a pretty
except
funny.
for when it was like Triple H, because his thing was going on the side of the ring, spitting water.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was like the last to come out, but I think it was funny when they would introduce themselves and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
The Road Dogg, Jesse James, the badass Billy Gunn, the new age outlaws.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to choose. I was also actually just watching Goldberg highlights.
Goldberg was a beast
He was
too.
a fucking beast.
Yeah, Goldberg was a beast. He's still a beast right now.
Yeah, he's back in right now. I think he's wrestling again.
Like, you old asshole.
you're
Like
79 years
dude,
old.
some of these guys are too big. You're 79 years old. How?
Because he started in WCW, right? He wasn't in WWF.
Yeah, I believe he was. Yeah, he was WCW, and then he was never WWF. I don't think until like WCW ended up like folding.
Yeah. Yeah. They lost.
Like, I'm not sure what happened to them, but they don't exist anymore, and he's with the other guys.
I think Vince just bought them. Is what happened. Like at first it was like a competition for ratings, and then Vince was just like, "Listen,
I'm done.
I'm just gonna buy."
Like,
you
I'm just gonna buy. Like, I thought this would be good, but you guys just suck. I'm a better businessman than you, and yeah.
Yeah, the characters. I think the difference was WWF was more about putting on a show, and WCW was more like. I mean, they had like the theatrics and shit, but it was more like wrestling.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. I don't know.
I don't know. I've just been watching clips.
It seemed like that was the underground of like, ECW was the underground, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
but yeah. So,
What you get into this week?
well, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. I got some things I have to work on for my car. Bring it to the dealer a couple times. But other than that, not much.
Going to the dealer is probably one of the most like, it's like you feel like
Terrible experience.
you're there because you know you have to be there and they're working on your car, but like at the same time, like, so like I go there, right, and I'll grab some free coffee and one of the stale donuts, and I'll sit down and I'll eat that donut and I'll drink that shitty coffee,
Yeah.
and then usually like I'll be like, all right, now I'm gonna go look at cars. So I'll be out in the lot for like an hour just circling around looking at cars, right, and like everybody, all the salespeople are like swarming, not swarming, but they're like sharks just waiting for you to like look at them.
Hi, are you being helped yet?
Right, you catch dude, if you get eye contact with any of these dudes or women for that matter, you will definitely be asked, well, what are you doing here? Be like, oh, I'm getting my car serviced. And when they hear that, it's like, oh, really? Well,
You'll
what
find yourself
what
shopping
kind of car
for
do
a
you
new
have?
car an hour later. Like,
Yeah.
Why am I test driving things?
You should have just stayed by the fucking stale donuts and just dealt with those little chewy things. And
Yo, speaking of the fucking coffee, I was so pissed yesterday. I was there and I was drinking a bottle of water. I finished that and I was like, I'm gonna go and take advantage of all these free condiments that they put out or refreshments. So I got
they're free for a reason.
Right. Well, I got a cup of coffee and I was enjoying it actually. I made it real nice. It was real sweet. And I went outside and I was just hanging out and some little bug flies into the inside of the styrofoam cup. Doesn't hit the coffee yet. I'm like, cool, let me get this bitch out of here and finish my coffee. And as I went to go do that, it fell into the coffee. And I was like, fuck!
That's usually how it goes. Like, you're like,
I
don't
was
fall,
so mad.
don't fall. And you go to grab it, and then some force that comes from your hand that is recognized the energy that is that. And it just says, nope! And it drops in usually. Like, let's say your keys are like teetering on some sort of edge where the bottom is the abyss, and the only thing you can do is grab it as fast as you can or attempt to.
And as soon as you attempt to, like, it'll be sitting there for an hour.
Dude,
As
you
soon
will
as
come
attempt
within
to
an
evolve.
inch, and they will fall.
Yeah.
And you'll never see them again, but they'll laugh at you on the way out.
I was like, in all the cups and all the coffees and all the land, you had to land in mine. Like, what the fuck, you cocksucking bug?
What have I ever done to you for you to come here on the day of my daughter's wedding, and disrespect me with such a thing? Dropping a bug inside of my phone cup.
Well, I'll never have a daughter or a daughter's wedding. So that doesn't really apply there. But
You didn't like my Godfather?
I mean, it was fine. I thought you were going with the Simpsons one because they did.
Oh, like what, like Fat Tony?
No. Well, yeah, maybe it was Fat Tony.
Yo,
like-
mob names are hilarious. Like, if you really think about it, like, dude, are you guys making fun of each other? Like, there's what was the guy's name? Remember in a Bronx Tale, it was like, what was dude's name? The dude that said things everything twice. Said things everything twice. That was a terrible way to say that because I sound like that guy.
Well, I mean, kind of. I don't remember.
Some like Tony two times or some shit like that.
No, that guy was like Tony Two Thumbs or some shit like, or what do you call him?
I don't know.
There's something about his fingers got fucking cut off.
Oh, Tony, like he's only got 2 fingers or 3 fingers, so he always does like.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But no, that I don't know if you're confusing that with the fact that he said Sonny had 5 fingers, but he only talked with 3. He'd be like that, throwing
might
up
be
gang
the case.
signs and shit.
Yeah.
You are one. You forgot a lot of shit about that little thing right there.
I mean,
you just made up a character probably.
There's a lot of little.
There was a guy. He got his fingers cut off. Remember that?
There's a lot of little inconsequentials. With
Be
that.
like Tony. Yeah, he got his fingers cut off. Like
Like,
Juanita.
he doesn't. He was mentioned one time in the movie.
That is a
You know?
17th century ancient woven tapestry. You mean
With
this
this
carpet? I know the bitch that make these rugs.
You remember Juanita and all that?
Yeah, I remember that bitch.
Well, look. Well, we might as well introduce the show. I think we've
We've
talked
talked. I
long
forgot
enough.
that we were doing that.
Yeah, or that we haven't done this yet. Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Kiona and Kasson podcast, as I'm sure you know by now. This is episode number 63.
9 times 7.
Right. I tried to do the math with that, and I was like, oh, that's like 7, 9 times. That doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm your host, Adam. I'm here with my brother, Osama. Welcome to everybody who's watching.
Did you almost introduce Dave?
No,
I thought you were gonna look and introduce Dave.
because my hand went like this.
Yeah.
Well, some people can't even see my hand do that, you know?
Well, they saw your
'Cause as I was
hand
about
outside
to-
of the screen.
As I was about to welcome the people who are not watching from YouTube, the people who are listening, who cannot see the video.
Oh, word! I forget that. There's that.
That's
There's that
Well,
thing.
there's that thing. Yes.
There is that.
Anyway, welcome to the show. Glad to have you with us. Hopefully you've been entertained by our meaningless conversations to this point.
It's pretty much what
But-
the show has become.
We're going to start talking about some important things. I mean, we have some on the docket.
They make-
Not that
we-
we're necessarily going to spend a lot of
We'll
time.
try to get to them.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll attempt.
well, you asked what I was up to this week, and I didn't have much of anything to tell you. So, what did you do this week?
Did I talk about when I went to see Joker last
No.
week? Oh, well, I went to see Joker. Maybe I saw that. I think I saw that on Sunday, and we obviously were recording in the beginning of that day. So yeah, I saw Joker. Firstly, I don't like going to the movies.
No, it's a terrible experience.
I really don't care for it. It's honestly, I have beef with a place that I can't press pause on and go take a piss if I'd like, or like you can't even you get these large drinks, right? You get large drink, large popcorn, and I believe they're refillable.
Yeah.
I don't know
They're
about
like,
the
who's
popcorn.
gonna get up in the
I don't
middle
know
of
if
the
the
movie?
popcorn. The popcorn's refillable, but I know the drink is definitely refillable.
I'm pretty sure there's a package.
Okay, so nobody does that. Firstly, right?
Right.
So you buy this large thing because it's going to last hopefully the whole time. You're done with your drink by the end of the previews, because now previews are like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I got to pee after this large drink has been just completely inhaled by me.
Yeah.
Right. So now I'm like, oh, I got to piss. But this movie's 2 hours long, and I don't know when it's something. You don't know when something's going to happen in a movie that you've never seen before.
This is true. This is why the only reason you get the refillable one is if you're there like mad early. You can go and sit down and just watch, whatever fucking little commercials and shit they put on. You fucking snack on that shit, and then you go and refill it when like the previews are about to start.
Yeah. But
Because even if it's not completely empty, you can still refill it.
I've never really thought about that. Maybe I should think
But
about
I never
that.
go to the movies that early. Plus, the last time I was at a movie was like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I
probably.
fucking hate the movies, right? But Vivi loves them, so I go, right? Only so often,
Yeah.
but I was like, fuck it. She wanted to go. I forget what we were doing. I think we were celebrating our anniversary, and she wanted to go to the movies at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So we said, all right, cool. So I just don't like it, but whatever. We got there, and we bought tickets for Joker, obviously, and they go, okay. I remember they said theater 4.
Yeah.
So we go to theater 4, and we sit in there. And the good thing about this time is we had just eaten, right? So we decided not to get anything. We were just like, all right, fuck it, we'll just go watch the movie.
Yeah.
And we sit down, and before we walk into the theater 4, I remember the screen or whatever it has there that shows what movie is playing
Yeah.
said It. I was like, that's a little peculiar, but okay, whatever.
It's not the movie I bargained for.
Yeah, but whatever. I thought maybe they change it when we walked in eventually. So we go in, we sit down, and some weird mullet security guard walks in, and I'm like, he's like, what movie here for? I was like, Joker. He's like, all right, cool. And he walked out. I was like, all right, whatever, you weird fucker.
Yeah, at least you knew you were in there for the right movie.
Yeah, he just looked weird. He had a mullet, but like with bald. I don't understand that. But that's a conversation for a whole nother day or later. And so we sit down, right? And they start playing the previews, and they're all like horror movie previews. And the best thing about, if you don't know Vivi, which you all don't, but Adam does,
Some of you might.
she hates horror movies, right? Despises horror movies.
Yeah.
So she can't watch them. So even a preview will fuck her up, and I'm talking about like a 30-second commercial. Well, she can't watch. So it was funny, right? They all look like funny movies to me. Like there actually is a cool movie coming out for the that's like another it's like the reboot or something of The Shining.
Oh, yeah.
You saw that? That looks like it's going to be a really good movie.
Yeah, but it's kind of weird.
I always thought The Shining was dope.
Like, why did it come out 30 years after the movie came out?
Well, hold on, we'll get to that because I like The Shining.
Yeah.
But so the best because this story is about to end. So anyway, Vivi, she leans over to me. She's like, if the Joker is, and look, this is what it sounds like. I think she's trying to come up with like the question she wants to ask. Like, how do I want to ask this? Right? She's like, is the Joker a horror movie?
She's like, fuck, what did I get myself into?
Right? And I'm like, what? I was like, I don't know. I was like, I heard this movie's a different take on it. It could be. I was like, I hope it is, because to me, that means we get to leave. Because
True.
Vivi told me, she's like, the next thing she said, like, we might be getting our money back. And I was like, yes. I was like, I get to go home. Fuck this movie, right?
Although
as much
give your money back.
No, I think you can, but I don't know why. You probably actually get like a credit.
Yeah.
So where was I going with that? Oh, because like she doesn't like horror movies enough to where we don't watch it. And like as much as I want to watch The Joker, I didn't need to watch it in the theaters. I watch movies at home perfectly happy.
Yeah, I opt for the home over.
Yeah, I just watched John Wick and Avengers Endgame at home. Happy as fuck.
Yeah.
Got 60 inches. That's good enough for me.
Yeah. Pause that bitch. Go take a piss. Do what you got to do. You know.
That's it, man. So, long story short, they start playing it, right? I'm like, and I don't know. I was like, oh, okay, this looks like early Joker life. It's like kids, right? There's a whole bunch of kids, and this like, I was like, oh, all right. Seems like the year he could be born. I don't know. I'm just watching, like, I'm cool with it. I'm like, all right, what's this movie about to be about? And so everybody's like, this is the wrong movie. I was like, what the fuck you mean? Like, he's like, this is it. And then so like him and Vivi and they all just storm out trying to. I was like, I'm just like, okay, well, let's see how this movie turns out until they turn it off.
So, but why?
It's like a free preview of the beginning of it.
But why didn't the fucking security guard be like, yo, we're filming or we're screening it?
Because they put the wrong movie in the theater, right? Like they had it queued up for it. It was funny. I don't give a shit. Like I was hoping that it was gonna be that was Joker.
Do they still play like the film rolls in movie theaters now, or do they have like?
I think it's
DVDs
just probably like
early now?
computer or something like that. It's got to be streamed. It's got to be something that they have a digital copy of.
I would imagine, because I don't like. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's like that. You know.
Why would they still use like film?
I don't know. Maybe it comes out better when it's that fucking big, because
you get all those like fucking terrible like mark, like, you know, the like in old film movies how it's all like tracking and shit that's going on in there. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but I mean, that has improved.
I paid
like,
$13 for this fucking ticket.
Yeah.
Remember when the movies were so cheap? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, so The Shining, right?
Right.
The Shining was a that preview looks really good. I forget what the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot remember what it is. It's got a kind of a you know, a whatever title, but
yeah, that's why I didn't know it was a sequel to The Shining when I first saw the commercial for it. I was like, what the fuck is that? And,
well, see, I think when you see the preview, it gives a little bit more of it alludes a little bit more to the fact that it's part of the Shining.
Yo, that kid had a fucked up as childhood. And
Dude,
now he's like,
so the house fucked his father up, right? In The Shining, like you've seen
well, the hotel.
the hotel, but yeah, I mean that's where they lived. So like, um,
But if
did
I
you
remember correctly,
see
they only lived there for a short period.
for the through the winter?
They were coming to be
They were
caretakers.
living there through the winter.
Yeah.
Like what they had to shut down for the winter,
Yeah.
and there were no permanent residents,
Yeah.
and they just needed somebody to like maintain it. I think,
Right.
and I guess the hotel has like, a history of like a violent death that happened there, like some sort of like crazy murder massacre, and there was blood flowing through the hallways and shit, and like that was, dude, it's one of my favorite horror movies. Like,
Dude, Stephen King is a fucking nut job.
he's got a crazy mind, like
A fucking nut
dude.
job.
I think maybe sometimes these guys who create these like these horror movies have to have like serial murderer in them.
Yeah.
They for sure pour their milk before their cereal.
They like
Serial murderers.
they have the mentality of it. Very nice. They have the mentality of it, but they carry out the urge through their films. Maybe
Maybe that's what all murderers should do. We'd get some good films.
this is true. Yeah.
No joking or anything, but like I'm just saying. Like,
No, I mean that's probably better than the way they take.
it's more than probably. It is for sure
This
better.
is highly likely something that they should opt for. But no, it looks like an exciting little delve back into that time period.
Oh, I think so. It's pretty cool that because they got to go back to the house.
Yeah.
And
Hotel.
it's I think I gotta keep saying it. They go back to the hotel, and I think it's cool because it's like a take on when I forget the name, Danny or something his name was.
Yeah.
When he grows up, and what that had an effect on him for, like, because they had the first version with Jack Nicholson,
Right.
and then they had another version in the '90s. Do you remember that? We watched that as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and I thought I like both versions, but it's just a creepy movie and like really just well written. And I think it's not a lot of the horror movies scare me. I'm not.
Yeah. You have those few that are like they ring through like that, like the Langoliers.
The Langoliers was cool, man. I thought the Langoliers was really cool. That's why, and that's another Stephen King.
Yeah.
And the thing about that is, I guess Stephen King is,
Fucked up in the head.
I guess he makes really good, like, yeah. But those movies have a similar,
Yeah.
like
a vibe to it.
Yeah, like you're waiting for things to turn up from right around the corner. Like you don't even see the
highly suspense.
we never even see the Langoliers really until the end,
Yeah.
right? But like when it happens, like oh shit, like but you hear it, like you're like oh they're coming, like how the fuck are we in this airport alone? Like very Lost like elements to it, which I didn't watch a lot of Lost, but I heard it was pretty good. Even though they say at the end it's just a waste of time.
Yeah, I watched like the first maybe 2 seasons of it, and then I never finished it, and I was glad that I didn't because somebody told me like, and spoiler alert, I don't know if you've never watched.
Yeah, I mean,
it.
I haven't watched it, but I already know the ending.
Yeah, so these motherfuckers were dead the whole time, which makes sense because you crashed your plane.
they were all like ghosts on an island essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. And I was like, so why were they struggling to live and like fucking find shelter and food? Why did that matter to them? Also,
were they like rested
I don't think
souls?
they knew that yeah, something like that. But like there was violence, people were getting killed. You were already dead. How do you get killed?
Yeah, like there was where were like the people they kept encountering, were they also in purgatory?
That's some quantum shit right there. Yeah, I don't know, man. It was a weird, like I don't know how. I'm watching Roseanne, right? Like the older one.
You're currently going through it?
I'm currently going through it because it's on Prime, and sometimes I just look for random shit on Prime. But and spoiler alert again, if you've never watched Roseanne, it all ended up being
it's a mind
dream.
fuck, man.
It all ended up being a dream of the dad. He was on a couch dreaming about all this.
Like at the end,
Yeah, and
right?
there was
No,
mad
wait. Wasn't the end that? So they win the lottery,
Yeah,
right? Dan moves away to like San Francisco or some shit with some bitch, right?
yeah.
And it just kind of leaves like that, I think, or something like that.
No, it was a dream the whole time.
Because didn't from the beginning?
From the beginning.
Really?
From the beginning. The whole fucking thing was...
I thought that he died at the end. Wasn't there a thing that Dan had a heart attack. He was
There
in the
was some-
hospital,
yeah, that
and
was
I
all
thought
part,
that
all the shit was part of it.
I thought that Roseanne fell asleep and dreamt that they won the lotto and that whole crazy thing happened.
No,
But when
all
she
the shit was
woke
all
up,
part of
Dan
it.
had died.
All the shit was all part of it, but at the end, like the last episode, like whatever, it was them waking up and realizing it was a dream. And I forgot who specifically it was. I think it was Dan.
Really?
But I'm like, what the fuck kind of shit? Like,
That's a mind fuck.
don't do that shit to me. Like,
That is a mind
I was
fuck.
invested in these characters, and they're all a bunch of phonies. This guy's a phony.
Right, none of that developed. All that fucking 10 years of fucking... That's crazy.
And
That
then
would piss me
I
off.
just found out recently. I forgot what the name of the town that they lived in the
Lanford?
show was. Lanford, yeah. That's based on Elgin.
Seems about right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I knew it was in Illinois, and I was like, I wonder if Lanford's a town. I never heard of it.
Elgin, Lanford, landfill.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, yeah, I was there yesterday. I went to that's
Some of Elgin is a kind of landfillish.
some of it's nice, but some of it's not.
Yeah.
I went to Nightmare on Chicago Street,
I don't know what
which
that
is in
is.
Elgin. So it's basically like they shut down like a 4-block area of downtown Elgin, and it's like in a way, it's like a festival. Like there's food and drinks everywhere, and it's like a big Halloween celebration, like a black party type of thing, right? So there's like a fucking billion people walking around in costumes. They have music going the whole time. There's like some of the businesses around the area stay open, so they can obviously get business. They know it's gonna be busy, and it goes from like 6 to 11. This is like their 9th year that they did it this year, and it's just like a big party in the streets type of thing. So that's one thing I did this weekend.
Yeah, you lied. You just said you didn't do anything.
You know, I forgot.
All right.
It may have been last night.
Yeah,
but
you
I
forgot. What are you going to do?
Exactly. But yeah, no, Elgin is like a fucking landfill. Half of it. You're right. I was driving through it, and I was like, this is a fucking nasty ass rundown. They call it the city within the city, right? And I'm like, first of all, this is not within the city.
No, it's nowhere near the
So
city.
That doesn't make any sense. But I'm like,
Who
shit,
calls it the city within the city?
That's what they.
People in Elgin?
I don't know, just people. And,
No, they wouldn't make it up. Like, we are part of
Probably
Chicago.
the news.
No, not really. You're not part of nothing.
yeah.
You're part of Elgin.
But yeah, it's real. It's real fucking ugly looking. I'm sorry if you live there.
Yeah.
No shade, but I mean,
What
it's
you
pretty
gonna
nasty,
do
you know?
when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys.
They're not. You gotta learn the words. man. All right, well, let's see if we have anything important to actually talk about.
I don't know.
Oh, might as well just jump out into this. Luol Deng.
Oh yeah, dude. Very dope. Very happy. Luol was a very important part of the Bulls. Very beloved player who spent multiple years here. Like
And was super
it just
consistent
sucks that at
every
the
year.
end of his career he kind of had to leave and you know not really. He didn't really do too much
But this all
afterward.
goes back into the fucking front office, which is a whole nother conversation.
I mean, he almost died, man. They gave him a spinal
Yeah.
tap, and he almost died from that shit. Like
Yeah,
he lost mad
meningitis.
weight from
yeah,
that shit.
meningitis.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
But I
So-
mean, I don't know. He was mad consistent for the Bulls. So I mean, everything that he's gained the love and respect of the whole city.
Yeah, I think
so. It's
so.
pretty cool to see him. We didn't even tell you specifically what happened, but he signed back to the Bulls. Like earlier this week?
Yeah, for a day,
And then he retired.
and he retired the
as a
next day
Bull.
as a Bull. So that was great. I'm glad they decided to do something like that for him. He deserved it.
Which is the respect I hope that D Rose gets when he's on his way out.
Yeah, I think. Well, D Rose. I mean, we're yet to see where his career goes from here. I think him in Detroit's going to be something nice to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
He's got Blake Griffin. You know what I mean? He's got something there that might be able to. You know, they might be able to piece something together.
Yeah, because Detroit was already looking good a couple seasons ago. So if they can, if he can add like a valuable contribution to them, and
Yeah, we'll see where he's able, what kind of chemistry they build, and
Yeah.
where his playing ability is at, and go from there.
Yeah.
But shout out to Luol, man.
Yes.
Thank you for a lot of years of service, man. Of not even and you just fucking defensively,
workhorse,
he
man.
took on so much. He averaged he led the league in average minutes 2 years in a row, man.
Yeah, and he locked down LeBron like none of the other
Yeah, he was
people in the league were doing. So
very lanky, but very great at defense. And man, offensively, he was very consistent and solid as well.
yeah,
You know,
you can usually count on him. He was pretty reliable. So
no, very much so. So glad you're going out as a Bull, man, and congrats on a good career or a great career.
absolutely.
Yep.
So real fast, I want to say on basketball, but when we transition our way into this, opposite shout out to Glenn,
Okay, I was just out at the Glen. I'll say that too.
and additionally, opposite shout out to LeBron because
Oh yeah, opposite shout out to LeBron, man. I
He's a
I
fucking
didn't
idiot.
really pay attention. Like I kept listening. I was trying to avoid it. I was trying to, but like eventually I started listening a little bit more, and like it's just like, dude, man, LeBron, you gotta like. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it beyond opposite shout out to him.
Opposite shout out to LeBron.
Yeah.
Listen, it's always opposite shout out to
If
LeBron.
you don't know
here
what
on the Kiona
happened-
Kasson podcast, but
if they don't know what happened, LeBron. Okay, so the Houston owner said something about China, right? What was it? What was the exact tweet? Do you know?
it was something along the lines of stop the oppression and let whatever he was whatever his tweet was in favor of the citizens
Okay.
who were rioting or whatever, revolutionizing against.
And then LeBron decided to tweet in favor of China, right? Like you don't
He
know what's
said-
going on.
Yeah, he said something about keep your mouth shut. You should talk about things that you
Yeah,
understand.
like he's from there, but he's not. He's from here.
Right.
And then yeah, so like he's catching flack for that, and I don't know if rightfully so, but probably so because of the fact like maybe this is something you shouldn't have touched on because maybe you don't know LeBron and like
Well, see, LeBron
this is even this goes beyond sports and it's more political than anything, obviously. And
LeBron is a company
know.
man, and he gets a lot of money from his Chinese partners, and so he is.
most definitely,
I'm pretty sure that there was more calculated than we know it was, And I mean, I'm not to say that from factual, but that's just all speculation. But again, when it comes to the KKP, opposite shout out to LBJ.
hell
Fuck
yeah,
you.
yeah.
So that's just how I feel about that. Do we have anything else basketball related? I know the season's about to start, so that's gonna be pretty.
Oh, Zion.
Oh yeah,
He's
gonna
got
be out, right?
he's got his I don't know if it's is it knee?
Yeah, I think it was a knee problem.
Yeah, but they say that they confirmed it's not a severe injury, but they said he'll be out for a period of weeks, which is not very specific.
Yeah.
How long could that be? Weeks
That's like
are
he's
weeks are there's 52 weeks in a year. Is that the period you're talking about?
That's true. It could be. Indefinitely, right? It's like when they use that fucking term.
I hate the word
I-
indefinitely.
I hate it too. I'm
hate
like,
it.
You have more of an idea than that.
He's out indefinitely. What the fuck do you mean indefinitely? You got more information. Let me know.
Does that mean definitely? He's
Indefinitely?
definitely out indefinitely.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
Yeah, me too.
So, but are you concerned?
No, I think I thought he was gonna be out in the beginning anyway because he got whatever with the shoe problem he had last year and he like fucked his knee up.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that there was like enough time taken to rehab that correctly. And
He's like 280.
yeah, he's a big dude.
Big
know?
as fuck, actually.
He's big, but he has his age on his side. He's what, 19, 20 years old? Like he's a young guy, so he has the advantage of being able to
Yeah, you do
better.
heal better as a youngin and whatnot. But like the problem is like Greg Oden's, Brandon Roy's.
Yeah.
I mean, Derrick Rose was young.
Yeah.
And again, this is maybe what they say not so severe, but period of weeks implies that it may be. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd like to think it's like we've watched so many big NBA stars get injured early on in their career and it fucked them over for the rest of the time when they rushed to coming back and shit like that. I mean, D Rose is a prime example, although he's still been outstanding. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, of course.
But I think maybe
we are documented Derrick Rose supporters are here at the KKP, motherfuckers.
yeah. So shout out to D. Opposite shout out to LBJ. That's how I feel.
And obviously, shout out to Glenn.
And opposite shout out to Glenn. But no, I think like maybe New Orleans is trying to err on the side of caution and make sure that he has like a sufficient amount of time to rehab and get back to where he needs to be before they push him out there and then like it's a recurring injury.
I think he was opening day though. Like I think the Pelicans are supposed to play opening day, which is like fuck. Motherfuckers were hoping to see Zion play, and
Yeah.
now there's no guarantee. They don't know when he's gonna play, which is fine, I guess. Listen, I don't care about that. I want him healthy. Obviously, I want him to be healthy when he gets into the league, and I want him to be fine when he comes plays. But man, like you got to really be wondering, like you got to hope because I mean, dude is really a big guy, and he's full force, full speed ahead.
Yeah.
100 miles an hour down the
But
court.
see, that's why I feel that way because he is like one of those high intensity players that is super athletic but he's super big at the same time. They're likely just I think just the side of caution, making sure that he's fully rehabbed, and
I think you're right. You're right.
If you rush it like that, dude, and it's a recurring injury all season, and you're spending a lot more time out than you planned on, and now like the whole season's a bust because and I don't know. I mean, New Orleans is gonna have a bust of a season anyway. I think.
Yeah, they're not going to the playoffs.
They're not doing anything special. They might go to the playoffs, but that's just
I doubt it.
there's like 8 solid
Aren't
teams
they
in the
West?
league altogether.
Aren't they in the West
Yeah,
somehow?
which is weird
Yeah.
because they're definitely more east. But anyway,
Yes.
yes. I think what gets fucked up over there because I always think about that. I'm like, why is this team considered West and this East? But I think it's because the East Coast of the United States is such a cluster of states that like the way it splits is different.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I just thought it was like a straight line. Like, whoopah.
Well, I mean, not really because if you look at where New York is and all anyway, you know your geography, I think.
I don't know.
Or, you know it well enough.
Somewhat.
You
You think you can name every state?
I'm bound to forget one or two.
Like, so you think that if you were to sit down and not name it like right now here
Right.
out loud, but like if we had to write down and name every state, you think you could?
I think it would take me like an extra few minutes to think of what I'm missing, but I'm pretty sure I could. Also, because my job just has me like dealing with people from all over the fucking country, so it's like usually based on the city name, I can figure out what the state is. You know,
Like if you try to remember, like you like, are you kind of like if you were able to say Chicago, Illinois, like you know what I mean, like you know the
yeah, like you know,
it sounds like it gets to get
Right.
it needs to go to the next
yeah.
step.
After you
of
know
this
so
word.
many of them, like it sounds right going with that particular state. You
I'm
know?
with you. I'm with you. I think I could. I'm pretty sure I can name all 50 states.
I'm pretty sure I can, and if not, then the Chicago public school system has failed us. Which brings me to my next point.
Chicago public schools failed a lot of people.
Yeah, and
I failed a lot.
That's true.
I failed a lot of classes, dude. Like it was terrible. Not because I'm fucking stupid. All right.
I don't know.
It's because
how many times
school
you
is.
say that on this show.
It's because school is. It's because school is stupid.
There's been way too many times where you had to be like, "I'm not stupid. I promise." But this is. You might be a little bit stupid.
You know what? Listen, dude.
But yeah, no. So the Chicago public schools, the teachers actually are on strike right now. For those of you who are not up on that,
Yeah, man. Shout out to the teachers, man. The
is just
teachers
like-
deserve to be paid.
yeah, this is.
Although-
the way I look at this is like, you have so many weird like governmental offices, and you pay these fucking politicians and shit stupid sums of money to do literally nothing. Like I don't know what you're doing. You haven't made a difference in my life. I don't know your name, but you're
You
looking.
don't know my name.
Hey, Alicia, calm down. You're looking at the workforce that is supposed to groom.
I was just doing background music too.
Yeah, I see that.
Something special about you.
You're looking at the workforce that is going to be grooming the upcoming generation.
I don't really want to make light of this topic, actually.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I know a handful of teachers, and just like, if you want the best out of your next generation, you want the best out of your teachers. I know I don't have a job that like is that influential on the upcoming generation. Not at all, probably. More or less on the generation before me. But if I'm like sitting here worried about money, how I'm going to pay bills, this, and that, I'm performing way worse than I should.
Okay, so here's the thing. From what I understand, firstly, teachers get paid pretty well, right? But I'm just breaking down what I know and what I'm getting to a point.
I don't know that is the case.
I'm getting to a point. I think the average salary for a teacher is like 70-something grand, something like that. But listen, just listen. Here's the issue with all of that. That's fine, but they're not. They're expected to not get paid for the time they are not on the clock,
Right.
like when they're at home and when they're on their weekends or whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't think that should be a thing. Honestly, you wouldn't want me as a teacher.
Yeah, because-
actually, you would want me as a teacher if you were a student. If you were somebody expecting great educator to come from out of me, it would not be. We'd have a great educational time in classroom.
Yeah.
But the more I make you do, the more I have to do later.
Yeah.
So why would I do that?
This is true.
Why the fuck? That's why you become a
listen,
gym teacher.
Everybody.
Those who can't teach gym.
Those who can't teach.
I don't know. I don't know what
Yeah,
that. I don't want to go in there either. But no. So I was getting to a point, right? So that means that they have to like that. There's
There's no overtime.
There's an undisclosed amount or X amount of hours that is variable depending on what you
Lesson
have.
plans, grading papers.
Right.
You know.
That you have to spend outside grading papers and all of these things outside of, creating all of these things. It could take hours, right?
Yeah.
And then but from what I understand, also there's not as much resources in terms of supplies for classrooms.
Oh no, a lot of them are expected to buy their own supplies.
That's fucked up too. So when you consider all of these things, you're not your salary drops down considerably because you have to consider it as an asset when you have investments that. You got to think about it that way.
I mean, I used to look at you remember in the beginning of the school years, they would give a big supplies list, and every student is expected to buy these supplies for the year or whatever. And I used to look at the list like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I don't want these things.
A box of napkins.
I'm not buying this shit.
I never used that fucking box of Kleenex. They used it to cry because they hated their fucking job.
Now I understand though why they put those lists together, and it does help the teacher focus on more important things. And I mean, I don't know, to me, if it's one position you should be paying adequately and listening to the things that they need, it's the teachers, right? It only makes sense. School sucks. Nobody wants to do it. The teachers don't want to do it. The kids definitely don't want to do it. But if you make it where it's you ease some of the tension, some of the stress on the educators,
it makes it easier, man.
Yeah, and you have less dumbasses coming into the world.
Dude, one school starts too early.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe now it starts a little later, but I think it still starts too early. I think you're in class way too long. Yeah. I think they teach you about things that honestly nobody should ever waste time on trigonometry.
No,
ever. You should not have to waste a fucking whole year on trig. You shouldn't have to waste a year on certain things, man. But you should be taught. School should be taught in a more this is life matter of way, right?
Yeah.
It should be okay. Learn this, and this. Also, you have gym, so just like you have gym, you should have life 101. And you can make that whatever you want to have.
It's tangible lessons.
It should be, and every year you should have that as 8th period or 7th period, and that life 101 changes. You can put a focus on, finances, cooking, living. All sorts of things that you should learn and be coming out of there into college where they prey on you as a fucking student anyway.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. I am so anti fucking education the way it's set up. They can suck my dick.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's not conducive to any.
Dude, it's conducive to them getting paid for the dude. There's no other this is the best business model of all time. You literally trick people to come to school, take as many student loans as they can. They're right. So now they're paying,
so
and
now
then
you have what
have you ever noticed how much you've actually paid on the actual principal?
No, because I haven't made one single student loan payment. I've been deferring,
ducking and dodging my moms and shit.
I'm waiting for them to be like, yo, all your student loans are due to government and they're all for community college. We're going to forgive them.
Yo, speaking of that, it's a great fucking segue. Yo, Sally Mae, suck a dick.
Yeah, now you see fucking J. Cole's outrage with Sally Mae.
Dude, J. Cole just was rapping about what everybody's experienced.
Yeah.
Sally Mae is a fucked up organization.
Yeah, they are.
So what did they do? They sent
them regularly. You still need funding for school?
Fund no, these bitch. Nuts, bitch. Pray on your mama. So there's Sally Mae sent hundreds or 100 at least employees from Sally Mae to Maui to celebrate the $5 billion in earnings in the last fiscal year, I believe.
$5 billion in earnings. And that's probably after they paid all their people.
Dude,
it's
crazy. Meanwhile, dude, we're trillions in debt. 1.2 or 1.3. See what the fucking educational system did?
It makes you talk like an Italian.
1, 2 fucking 3. 1.3 trillion, huh? Does that how they speak?
I'm Italian, so fuck you. It's
yeah, we are Italian. I just don't know how to speak Italian.
Anyway, New York.
So, dude, meanwhile, these motherfuckers are going to celebrate in Maui. I've never even been to Maui.
I had dreams of being in Maui. Maui, wowie.
Maui, wowie.
Yeah, no, I would love to go, but no. Fuck Sally Mae. Taking my hard-earned
money. He fucking got up and pretended to be a fucking mime. he picked the broom up and started being a janitor and shit. Fucking Brian Vale. Oh, my nuts. Little half-baked reference, sorry. Yeah, dude, that's fucking ridiculous. You gotta really, really be kidding me.
I mean, like, don't make that public knowledge. Just don't. Nobody needs you to tell everybody what
You
you're
know,
doing with my money.
I get kind of angry. Like, I see a lot of people like, oh, nobody told you how to take those loans, right? But like, kind of did.
Well, how else do you expect me to?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was preached that, okay, college is the only way. So what am I going to do if I don't have the money?
Right.
We take loans. Right? I don't want to hear that. That's bullshit to me. You're a fucking 17, 18-year-old going into college. You can't make those type of financial decisions at that age. Don't fucking tell me. Don't at me. Don't fucking anything, right?
Yeah.
Like, you cannot. I refuse to
Especially
hear
when the
that as an
educational
18-year-old, you can make a fucking decision to borrow whatever $1,000 they allow you to borrow.
Especially when the curriculum in high school didn't tell you shit about finances, so you don't know shit about it.
Dude, I learned to balance a checkbook.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that got to do with today?
I haven't had a checkbook since the first day I had a bank account, which
Dude,
was like
every time I got a
16,
checkbook,
so
I just
13
put it
years
in a
ago?
fucking drawer. Like, I'm not gonna balance.
We
this.
legit had fucking like cabinets full of boxes of
like
checks.
why? I didn't need these. Only time I had to write a check was for rent.
Yeah,
that's it.
And even then, when me and you were living together, I paid him in cash.
See, Adam didn't even have a paper trail.
I never lived here. There's no record of that.
No, dude, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, fuck all that. I don't know, man. Schools is some bullshit. And the fact that it costs as much as it does, like, these loans wouldn't be as big of a deal if they didn't. Like, why is it so expensive?
Dude, it's because it is a business now. Like, I don't believe there's value in education. There's not value in a university.
Let's say your average university has like 4,000 students.
No, there's more than that. I
Let's
think
just
there's
say-
like 10,000 at Northeastern.
We'll use a low ball on it, right?
Okay.
Let's say 4,000.
So let's make it 5 because it's round.
Yeah, that works. And then say every student's yearly tuition as a full-time student is like 20,000.
Okay.
And this is like really, really low balling compared to most of the universities in the world or in the States. So you have 4,000 students every year paying $20,000.
You said 5,000.
No, I said 4,000.
But I said let's make it 5 because it's easier.
Okay, fine. So that's what, like
$5
$1 million a year?
5 times what?
Wait,
20,000. 5 times 20?
Yeah.
It's 100,000 or 100. It's a
Well, we're
million.
talking about 500 or
So it's a million, isn't it?
5,000 students.
5,000 times 20,000. I
That's
think is
probably more
100.
than
I think it's a million.
It's probably more.
'Cause
than that,
5
I don't think
times-
they're only making $1 million a
5
year.
times 2 is 10, and it's 0, 0, 0, 0.
Just, yeah, no, that trick is bullshit too.
I'm pretty sure. I'm
5,000 times 20,000 is 100 million, bro. 100
Wow.
million.
See what happens? It's a lot of money.
So you're on the.
So
low
if
end
only
of
all we got to
schools,
do is
you're
make
making 100 million.
all we
a
got to do
year.
is make $20,000 5,000
school.
times. If we could just make 20,000 5,000 times,
I say we start a school.
I think we start a mega church.
You want to be fucking Joel Osteen?
Listen, I've either been trying to form a heist crew for like years that nobody seems to be down for.
Yeah,
Dude,
so
all you gotta do is go steal a diamond.
They've
They do it in the movies all the time.
been
We'll be
doing it in
good.
Chicago, the
You got-
smash and grabs all summer.
Dude, think about it. Like, we'd get a fucking black van. It's be you. We grab 2 other dummies. We fucking sit. We get Glenn's shout out ass, and we just bring them all. Like, we go bust in a place. We grab a diamond. We jump back in the black van and we dip out.
This will be bigger once or easier once this podcast.
You got to
is
get a
bigger,
little
right?
Asian guy that fits in a box, so when you put it into the vault, he can hop out.
This would be easier if this podcast was
Ocean's
bigger.
12.
Because then we'd put Glenn in the middle and be like, "Oh, look, it's opposite. Shout out to Glenn!" And then we just rush into the place.
Yeah,
and
but
we
like,
go.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
So either way, what I was getting at is nobody wants to do a heist group. It just seems
Right.
like that's never gonna happen.
Yeah, jail.
I get it. Whatever.
Jail.
Yeah. So it seems like the more appropriate way to do this hustle is to form a mega church.
Brought to you by the people like your ministers.
Why don't we start like doing things on public access? Yeah.
This is our public access. This is free. We don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, but
Well, I have to
we
go
can't
somewhere.
pass around offering plates and shit.
So you want to start a Sunday service?
Dude, Joel Osteen did it.
Kanye West did.
Kanye West fucking started a service. All you gotta do is you said you were saved, and
Did you hear
now
about his shit with Kim?
that he said that he feels like
When something's too sexy, it affects him, and like
she's like, just because you're on this journey doesn't mean I'm on a journey with you, motherfucker. They're gonna get divorced.
it makes me laugh. 'cause I'm
Chicago
like, you
and
realize
Chicago and like Champaign or whatever that little kid's name is are gonna
Northwest.
Northwest Chicago.
Hey, that's where we're from. No, because
Oh,
I was like,
that
Kanye,
dude is retarded.
She had a sex tape with Ray J, who you probably know personally.
Dude
By the time you
probably
guys got
fucking
married-
beat off to that sex tape. I guarantee it. You can't tell me that Kanye didn't beat off to the Kim sex tape before he could have sex with Kim.
That's a rags to riches story, I think. You know?
Dude, it's not even that great. It's not even that great a fucking thing. But I've watched it
Yeah.
a couple times.
I mean, it's Kim Kardashian, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna watch it. Don't get me wrong.
Anyway,
Yeah, there's no
ironic
way
that
dude
her
didn't
and
fucking
Paris Hilton had a
didn't.
sex tape out.
Paris Hilton was terrible. It was in like
I bet you they have one
it
together.
was in like night vision.
Yeah, some shit like that.
Like, why would I want to watch this in night vision? Now you look like an alien having sex with some skinny alien.
Your eyes are like real fucking shiny and like look like my dog in the camera when I take
She's
a
already
picture.
she's already tall and lanky as fuck, right?
Yeah.
Like, so now you put this like night vision on her. She looks like some signs alien. Like, you know,
I bet you they have one together, those two.
who?
Kim and Paris.
Oh, that'd be pretty dope. I'd see that.
I would watch that one.
I'd watch that tape. Juice.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Deep Blue Sea.
They ate me.
What else do we have important to talk about? Oh, we didn't get our fact check correct. Well, we didn't make sure we had facts. But I just want to say a quick rest in peace to Elijah Cummings.
Yes, rest in peace, sir.
It was, I think, pretty unexpected. His death. It was.
Yeah.
He had some procedure done, and like a couple weeks later, he was
Yeah,
gone.
he was in his like late 60s. I don't know a lot about specifics, but I do know that he was a really good congressman.
Yeah.
Did a lot of good, and he will be missed because unfortunately, it seems like these old white guys who are doing all the terrible things just have good hearts because those motherfuckers just won't die.
Yeah, I mean,
And when the good die young, and even when the good die, they die old. Most of them are the good ones.
Yeah.
The bad ones seem to just live and allow. I don't know what it is, man. They're drinking babies' blood and shit.
Probably that's the fountain of youth. They're just eating children.
Fucking weirdos, man. Like those motherfuckers just won't die off.
No.
You just be like, they'd be like a congressman. You'd be like, ah.
Like why the fuck are those positions for life? Why are you not forced into retirement at some point?
Well, no, you can. No, they're not. What's not for life? The positions aren't for life. You have to keep running. Health insurance is for life.
And their salary is for life.
Salaries for life too.
Salaries for
Son
life too.
of a
And I think
bitch.
there's somebody who so they can serve.
I should try to become a congressman.
Maybe it's that they can serve.
That seems like some good benefits.
Congressmen are always caught up in some weird scandal, unless you're
Hell
an
yeah.
old white man. So which right now everybody's getting caught up in some kind of scandal.
Hell yeah.
Giuliani's going down. Favre's going down. All these fuckers are going.
All these fuckers are going down.
Yeah, no. It's going to be an interesting
Yeah,
to see how these things
yes, sir. Rest in peace to you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate your service. If there is a heaven up there, why don't you talk to old man up there, convince him to take some of these pieces of doo-doo that are here.
Like, excuse me, God.
Like,
Can you take these guys too, though?
like me? Really? Me?
What's that Toby in the office? He's like, why are you always mean to me?
Why are you always so mean to me? I like there's a line, there's something there's an episode where I think Michael has decided to take all the complaints that Toby has written down from all the workers after they've come and lodged the complaint. And so they have Toby in the interview room, and he's like, well, I met this girl I wanted to have sex with. He was like, no. He's like, no, I was in the ministry for about a year, met this girl I wanted to have sex with, left there, ended up getting divorced a few years later. Yeah, so no, I don't really have a passion for HR. Toby is maybe one of the best characters on that show. He's like,
yeah, I don't know how anybody has a passion for a career in HR.
he's like, so no, to answer your question, I don't really have a passion for HR. Like,
No.
what the fuck? How'd you go from like, I met this girl I wanted to have sex with, so I left the ministry. Like, that sounds like a good reason. I would assume that there's a lot of guys in the ministry that like, dude, I want to have sex with her. But like, no, you can't. Remember, you took this oath. But like, dude, this oath is fucked up.
Listen.
I got a dick and it wants that.
What is there's men who take these vows of celibacy. You know what your dick does. Like, don't
Dude,
do that. You know you're not gonna listen. Like,
It's a
there's
terrible,
no
terrible
way.
idea. You just let them have sex. If you just let them have sex and be married,
Like,
these
fuck the
motherfuckers-
priesthood. Listen, don't you preach constantly in the Bible? I don't know this for a fact. But don't you preach constantly
Don't you
in there
preach constantly in the Bible? I don't know this for a fact.
that,
We
like,
know nothing, just so you know.
That, not a damn thing. That sex is meant for
Recreation?
No, not recreation.
I recreationally fuck around, you know?
What do you reproduction. There you go. Sorry,
I thought it was more for recreation than reproduction.
Well, I mean, me too, but in the Bible it says this. I didn't say I said this. So,
but
why
you
would
said
the
that you don't
priesthood-
even know that the Bible says this. You said, don't you say a couple times, but I don't even really know.
I'm operating under the assumption.
This is pure speculation.
But why the fuck would the priesthood have
And
to
we are
take
not going to
vows
confirm.
of celibacy then, I don't know, man. So you're going to die without ever getting some?
No, I think they've probably fucked before.
And is that? I don't know.
You don't think they would have fucked before they
I
joined
would
something
imagine
they knew they couldn't
listen,
fuck with?
First of all, we already know that they're not fucking. They're just fucking little boys. So it's
Yeah.
a bit of a different story. But you broke your vow.
Yeah.
Bro. In the house of God, nonetheless. Look at these people.
Like, that's just nasty.
And then, okay, real fast, let's get one more of these sad stories out of the way. If you have been paying attention to the boxing community recently,
Yeah.
his name is Patrick Day. He was in
Yeah, he actually fought.
he was a title card.
Yeah.
Well, he was a.
They were fighting
opening-
here in Chicago at the Wintrust Arena.
Yeah, it was an
Um,
opening fight, right? Like he opened the card for the night.
I guess so, because, okay, so I was listening to my boys from the Faculty Lounge. Shout out to my
y'all.
boys. And Elton said that he was he went to that fight. He said as he was sitting down, that fight ended. Like,
Yeah, I
dude
saw
got
his
knocked
post.
out.
And then by the time he got to his seat, he was on the
Yeah,
ground
dude was on
already.
the ground. And so the last podcast they had, he hadn't mentioned it. They, because I guess he was already in the coma.
Yeah,
But I think a day or two after that, he ended up passing away
yeah.
from his injuries, which is the second boxer to do so in a short span of time, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember specifically the first one, but yeah, so he got like this just knockout blow. Pretty sure he was concussed. They took him to the hospital. He went to a coma. 4 days, passed away.
Yeah, man.
And somebody I was talking to about this, they were like, "Oh yeah, like isn't that kind of like a murder then?" And I was like, "No, because the way I think it works is if it was an illegal hit, he probably would have been responsible. But since it was like a legal blow in the boxing world, like everybody,
I don't even know that there's a case of that, like if it was a legal blow, unless it was like
well, I don't
blatant,
know, like,
like
if they
he was.
hit him with the elbow in the side of the
Yeah, I
skull
guess
or
there are
something.
certain ways
Might have
like
been,
that, but I think just a hit that ended up being in the back of the head instead of like in the side of the head.
Yeah.
I don't think something like that. Plus, it's in the ring. It's what you're doing, but obviously you don't want it to end like that.
Right.
Shout out to that man. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Condolences to his family. And
Condolences to your
everybody
family,
mourning over
man.
him.
You never want to see it. But yeah, I think it was the second one because there's another one that happened maybe a couple months ago where the guy was in the hospital for like 4 days and he ended up passing away too.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, some of these guys got fucking rock hard punches, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, man. If that's the road you're gonna take in life, be careful because
I mean, boxing is a great and beautiful sport. I love it,
barbaric
but
as fuck.
yeah.
Or
I
by
mean,
nature, it's
yeah,
supposed to be anyway.
it is. I mean, obviously, you look at UFC and in a comparison, they're just one looks like a Nerf fight, but not really. Like you don't want to put it that you don't want to
Well, I mean,
disrespect
UFC
it.
is
But
big. There's
yeah,
some big ass hits.
You're not trying to disrespect it, but
Right.
when you can use every part of your body and there's really only you can do almost anything. And boxing is so restricted to specific rules and guidelines of how it's supposed to be used.
It's chess to checkers type of thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, in comparison, yes, it does look like a Nerf fight in some regard.
I mean, it depends who you're watching because some of those fighters are.
Oh, obviously so, but like UFC is like, man, you can literally fight. You can hammer fist somebody until they're knocked the fuck out on the ground.
It's pretty fucking crazy. Yeah.
You can hit them in the back of their head. Like
It's a bit more barbaric. I feel like.
bit is not even the word you want to use. But regardless of that, you never want to see that happen. So
definitely
that sucks, and not that it's something that you can control because a freak accident, a freak punch, a freak landing, or what have you is something that you can't control. So
Yeah.
you just want everybody to be out there and just safe and just I don't even know how to go about just be as safe as
Yeah,
possible.
I mean, just you know what you're getting yourself into.
Train
Be
as well
prepared.
as you can. Not to
Yeah.
say he isn't trained, but
And fight clean. Like don't. You know,
yeah. And again,
obviously,
it wasn't a.
I
It
don't know
wasn't
many
a.
people who box watch this, so it doesn't really matter. But generally, rest in peace. You know, sad to see
Yeah.
it.
Word.
That reminds me. Actually, I was watching one of these wrestling clips, right? But it was anything goes match between the Big Show and young Floyd Mayweather. So this was like back when he was like actually knocking people
Wow.
out. And it's crazy because it's like if you ever seen Shaq standing next to his wife or his ex-wife, I believe.
Yeah, like
it's like that.
Shaq's ex-wife looks like she's maybe the size of or like double the size of his dick. Like she like his hip like and like to his feet.
Yeah, she's not
So
very-
like Shaq looks like he could be like a whale, right?
But
He's like
that's what it is when you
like
look
7
at-
feet, 400 pounds.
like Big Show, you know, he had like those fucking black whatever the fuck I wouldn't even call them. I don't know what they were, but that's as tall as Floyd went. Like Floyd was small compared to him, right? And I was like, dude, Big Show's gonna kill this motherfucker because he had him on the floor at one point and he was standing on him with his full body weight. And I was like, he's about to crush his ribcage. And then Floyd's boys that he brought with him, they kept trying to interfere because no disqualifications, anything goes, right? So it had to be a knockout, a pinfall, or a submission. I think is the way you win. So they jumped into the ring at one point and like hit Shaq with or hit a Big Show with a chair, or they tried to, and Big Show took it from him and chokeslammed him, right? And got him out of the ring. And then they were fucking with him, and I think like by the time he turned around, Mayweather kicked him in the balls and then hit him with the chair himself like 3 times. Then he took the brass knuckles off his boy's chain and fucking came across his face with it and knocked him out.
Yeah,
I was like,
that makes sense.
the fuck?
Yeah,
I was like, of
was
course,
this a
we gotta
street
make Floyd
fight?
Be the victor.
Yeah,
like,
of course. He's not gonna lose. He's undefeated at this point.
right. But apparently they said he got like $20 million for doing that.
Holy shit, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I got a big fee.
Yeah.
I saw something that Dana White said that Conor is no longer the poster boy for the UFC. Khabib is, and
Has he been recently? I thought he was done being a poster boy for anything.
well, I mean, he makes it a point to make it sure, like he's obviously still one of the biggest thing in the UFC, but like
Yeah.
he's not, and Dana White said that obviously he's not the poster boy for it anymore, and he obviously got mad about it and said something else, but like I didn't even notice. But I just wanted to know, like, what do you think? Do you think Conor? I mean, obviously you think that Conor isn't anyway, but do you think Khabib is, or is it like Nate Diaz or that other dude, that other motherfucker that's like pretty
Bones
pretty-
or whatever.
No.
Jones.
No, he's like an Arab guy or a Spanish dude. He got like cornrows or something.
No, I don't know. There's like, I fucking forgot what the guy's name is, but he's like one of the more popular UFC guys. I don't watch, in full disclosure, like regularly. But no, I don't think that Conor is. Didn't he just get in like a bar brawl in Ireland again recently?
No, I
Thought I heard
think
something about that.
he stole off some old man because he didn't want to take a shot that he bought him. I think
That's like turning down when some random
it's like
dude
he's
offers
like,
you
oh,
some
drinks for everybody. He's like, no, not for me. He's like, what? He's like, take a shot. He's like, and then bam,
He's a fucking hothead, man.
stole right off. And like it literally looked like he's like, right, because it does. You don't see any. It just this is what it looks like. And dudes.
There was a video of that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and look.
Yeah, if you didn't happen to like be watching this one, that if you it's kind of like a silent film. I just
The one
gave you-
guy's like, no, I don't want it. And he's like, yeah, take it. And he said no, so he hit him. No, I don't know. There's like 2 fucking dudes in the UFC who I feel like as long as they're around, there's nobody who else is going to be like the poster child, right? Like nobody gets excited for these fights as big as like John Bones Jones, I think is one of them.
Yeah, he's still gonna be somebody that they anticipate. Silva, who I believe is he retired at
No,
this
not
point?
yet. I don't think so. He fought like 2 months ago, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe 3 months. I don't know.
Daniel Cormier.
Cormier.
He's retired now. He said he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some. It's a cool sport. It's not necessarily for me. I just watch like the knockouts. Like you catch like a compilation or whatever.
Yeah.
You catch those compilations on your chosen
Platform.
website of
Highlights.
porn And those,
Yeah, you know you hate
you'd be
when
like,
they
yeah, compilation of all, yeah, like, yeah, buddy, I'll fuck with you.
you hate when they post
You can
non-porn
say you
related
don't.
videos on porn sites.
You could say you don't know about this, but you know about this. Some of you
Lady
girls
YouTube.
might even, yeah. See, Adam knows too.
Um, yeah, I think I covered everything that's on my list is done.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's funny, man. I feel like this year's been pretty slow for music.
Yeah, I think so too.
Hasn't been anything coming out, and I like. It's funny. Fridays, I don't really think about it anymore because it just seems like
I go check because I know like we're getting closer to the end of the year, so like there's certain people. Who
I'm
probably
expecting
couldn't-
something's gonna come out because Push says he's got an album in the works.
Styles
Oh,
apparently
did you hear
has
what
another
Push
album.
said? He's like, if whoever so somebody leaked his music. He's like, I don't know who this person is leaking my
I'm gonna
music,
make an example,
but
out
I'm
of
gonna
you.
make a great example, or something like that. Great example of you. Like what? Pusha T is making very ominous threats towards some
I'm gonna
random
kill you,
individual,
motherfucker.
right? Like, okay, you better know. You better watch out. Push don't play.
Yeah,
But if that comes out, I'd be excited.
I forgot. I know Wale came out last week. I don't.
I've been really wanting to get into that album just because Wale is an artist who, I think you hear it from time to time. Joe Budden podcast they champion him a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like he is an artist that definitely doesn't get enough praise, for his style of music.
The problem with Wale is and this is probably more of a
It's
problem of the
Wale.
past. It's more of a problem with the past. I think it's just like the singles he chose didn't really make you want to like. Some of them were fine or whatever, but like
I think his music, for the type of music it is really nice music,
It is.
and some of it's great. I mean, I can't say all of it is. I can't say I think all of his music is great, but for the most part, I'd say that he doesn't get enough praise he deserves. So that's really what I was getting at with that.
it's kind of weird that he had the Rick Ross cosign and still didn't like blow up.
Yeah, I think
I mean, he obviously blew up. Like everybody knows who Wale is, but
isn't he part of MMG still to some
I don't think
extent?
so anymore.
No?
So maybe I think he's like signed to like the parent company now of MMG. But
Oh yeah, he left Atlantic, right? And he went to somewhere, but I think it's still part of the actual label.
Why do
like
people still sign with Atlantic?
I don't know, but Atlantic is fucking dude. Atlantic's who responsible for pumping out almost all the shit that's coming out now.
There is no like every time that
I
somebody
think QC's part of Atlantic.
every time somebody parts ways with Atlantic, they have a bad story about it.
I don't know. I think maybe they favor artists.
Maybe
It's just like it's like they talk about. And again, I don't claim to be the person who knows the most about all of these labels and
Yeah.
who's affiliated and who's the parent companies and
I think
all of that.
Universal is just the parent company of everybody.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be Universal.
Sure, Universal owns
Yeah.
everything,
But,
like
like,
Disney.
I don't know why artists leave certain labels. Like apparently, Empire is a pretty good situation for most artists, and they don't. A lot of artists tend to leave there for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Maybe their contracts are just not favorable, or
Yeah,
not very
I don't know.
lucrative or whatever it is.
I'm not sure exactly. But
Maybe it's like a good get your foot off the ground label. Like you sign with them to get your name out, and then
That's
when
very
you actually have
possible.
the possibility to make money elsewhere, then you go do that.
that's a possibility. I don't know. Again, all I'm saying is, long story short, I'd like to see some good music come out at the end of
absolutely.
this.
I was sitting here looking on Friday, and I was like, oh, maybe Rihanna put something in her because there was
All I keep seeing of Rihanna is these sexy ass clips of her walking
I was gonna
places.
say that her fucking Instagram is ridiculous right now.
Rihanna
Go look at
is
Rihanna's
Rihanna right fucking now. Don't watch our show. Go watch Rihanna's.
No. Don't listen to that. The show's almost over. So watch the show and then go and check out Rihanna. Or you could do them both.
Yeah, you can do that.
simultaneously,
You can do that. You can do that. You can do that.
Yeah, don't
If
ever
if
to get people away from the show.
we could probably put a clip right next to us talking while she's walking, right?
I don't know. I mean,
And
Trademarks.
loop it for like an hour and 20 minutes of
I don't
Rihanna's
know,
slow
does fair
moving.
use does fair use port over to the Instagram world?
Rihanna
Fair use.
fair use, motherfuckers.
All I know is
Can we
I
make
saw
a
her
can we make a
putting some
song
glitter
called
on her
Fair
tits
Use?
the other day, and I was
she,
like,
she was putting glitter on her what?
on her titties.
I hate glitter, but not on Rihanna's tits.
Word.
If I like glitter anywhere, it's on Rihanna's boobs.
Word up.
And she showed me her boobies, and I like those too.
Everything's the devil to you, mama.
Everything's the devil to you, mama.
Yeah, I think we might as well close this out because we don't have anything productive to say.
How far in are we?
I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but it's 146 now.
Is that
If
enough?
that means anything to you.
Is that enough for these people?
I think as long as we covered what we need to, yeah,
Well,
Shout out to the few subscribers we gained. I think there's
we gained a
2
couple.
over last-
Yo, my boy Justin just signed up, so I know him to be the last one. So why not? Maybe we'll start doing that if we know who's subscribed, and we'll give you a little shout out.
Yeah.
Also, again, oh man, Maisha asked another question, didn't she?
She did. It was a follow up about the female rapper thing.
Well, let's see if we can address that before we go, just to see.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't really care too much.
But I appreciate the topics, Maisha. Water on Mars, man. Come back with a couple more comments, man. Let us know what you're thinking about any topics you want to hear.
Said follow up question: could a female rapper that is not a gutta be successful?
Oh, like a gutter female rapper?
Right. Or do they fail more because demure? I don't know what she meant by that word. But,
I think that's like you're more of like feminine.
Oh, do they fail more because they're not gutta?
They're more demure.
Demure?
I think that's what that means. So I would say that
I like them more when they're not gutta. Yes.
You like them more when they're not gutter?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't need that. That was what my complaint was last week. I got to remain consistent on my point.
I'm with you, but I think the word.
I don't need a thuggish, ruggish bone.
Yeah, but I don't know how successful a female rapper who's just like. I think there's a mix that has to be in there.
Listen,
I think you have to be somewhat.
That it was sexist.
No.
Stick to R&B, and I won't have.
No,
issues.
I get it, but that's not the question. So what I'm saying is, it has to be rapper hands. So I think what it has to be is some sort of mix. It has to be some feminism. That's why Lil' Kim was so successful in her ability. That's why Nicki is so successful, or was so successful. Cardi is finding that happy medium right now as well.
Like, you can go ahead and just be sexy. Like Cardi's been putting up some crazy videos too.
Oh, Cardi and Offset were in a. No, man, I saw some of them videos. I was like, all right.
So like,
She got that big ass tattoo on her ass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't like.
I'd rather.
I
don't really care.
A tattooless ass unless it's just like a little. Like actually, I
want my
Kiona has a little tattoo on her ass, just a little line.
She got that boob tattoo, man. That shit with glitter all over it.
But no, I don't know. Like, to me, there's multiple lanes you can go in as a female artist, and the gutta lane, as it were, is not one that I think you need to go to.
I think you have to have. I think you need some elements of that.
No,
because you can talk sex gutter in a gutter way.
Like, do good girls like bad guys?
I just don't like when the girl says "suck my dick" in the song, because that is not your body part.
And if it is,
we got another conversation to talk about.
The T?
No, more like I was a PlayStation 2, but I was born a PlayStation
3. My graphics were levels ahead. Yeah, but no. I think
should never throw a bong, kid. Never.
I'm talking about the guy who threw your bong. But yeah, no. So I don't like the gutta MCs of the female variety. Spit some conscious shit, spit some fucking sex shit. Do not talk about all the drugs you sold, all the people you killed. I don't care about that.
Word.
Yeah.
Fuck. Motherfuck. Motherfuck. Noise. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Noise. Smoking weed, doing coke, drinking biz. Rolling fatty, smoking blunts. Who smokes the blunts? We smoke the blunts. Rolling blunts and and then the kid walked up and he was like, "Let me get a nickel back. $15, little man. Put that shit in my hand. If that money wasn't show, then you owe me, yo." My jump. Okay, all right, we got it. Well, that's a little tune to end the KKP for y'all this episode.
Yeah, go check out that Jay and Silent Bob.
Do your thing. They're
about to make a second one of that, by the way.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. That's the one I would like to see. Like, I would like. There's a lot of these remakes happening.
You can never put out stoner comedies and expect me not to want to be.
Yeah, dude. Except How High 2.
They put out a Grandma's Boy too.
I mean, except How High 2. No.
True.
Not interested.
True. You're right. 100%.
Not interested.
That's the first one that came out that I was like, No. No. If you kept Red and Meth, different story. No. not about it. So
The motherfucking time. No, so yeah.
yeah. So
Check us out on all social media platforms. Kiona KKB.
if you multiply 9 by 7,
That's 63.
that's 63.
Yo, do you remember? So like
Next week
learning
it'll be 8 times 8.
64, baby.
Yeah, look at us on our math shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you heard?
Just,
So like, it's funny. Like when I would like learning our times tables was hilarious, but like I was pretty good at that shit at one point. Like,
I'm fucking solid on it now.
yeah, I think I'll be all right now. I think sometimes I need to like remind myself, like
There's certain things you just remember. Like
5 times 6.
30.
Damn,
Like if you
it's good. 12 times 12.
144.
That's the easy one.
11 times 11, 121. See, anyway.
I didn't know that one. All right, check us out, Kiona and Kasson podcast,
Yes, yes.
Instagram,
Thank you for rocking with us.
Facebook,
63 or episode 9 times
Twitter, YouTube, all that.
7. Right, what you should know if you're watching.
We got all our personals. They're linked. Check us
and
out.
If you check out the about part of the YouTube page, you can get to the Instagram, to the Twitter. I put links for those in there.
Yeah. So before, if we haven't said it before, please, if you're new and you like what you see, I think we should let them know. Go ahead,
if you
subscribe.
like what you see, just because you're looking at the video.
Yeah, that thumbnail. But yeah, go ahead and click that subscribe button. We come every week with a new episode. Tuesday morning, generally
You
speaking.
can just look at the history, like as you scroll through our videos.
Yeah, but we gotta let them know. I know we probably should.
They go in what's called.
We should
consecutive
probably
order.
do this in the beginning of the episode.
We don't though.
So,
So, whatever.
Yeah, and forget what I'm talking about.
Yeah, forget all that. So shout out to Dave and all them. We're still trying to figure out what's good with him.
Yo,
but
Dave, I saw he's in some
Tennessee, I think.
Is it Tennessee or is it somewhere on the East Coast? I think it's somewhere in the.
Connecticut?
Yeah, it's Connecticut.
So anyway, shout out to him. We're still trying to figure out what's good, but
Episode 63 in the books, y'all.
obviously shout out to Glenn.
Again.
Shout out to all the viewers and everything, all the listeners. We will holler at y'all on 8 times 8.
Shout out to my puppy up there in doggy heaven. Stacks, we love you. Peace.
Yes.